Hey there, it's Andy Whitehead from recruitmentmarketinginternational.com. Just want to give you a quick insight into what's available out there in terms of creating automated lead generation pipelines. We tend to live in a environment whereby we're very reactive in recruitment, and we don't need to be. There's so much data out there. There's so much candidate data. There's so much client data out there that all you need to do is really tap into that data, and it's really simple. In terms of what we want to be doing, we want to be taking the sort of mindset of doing this. Is we've got our data out here, and our data can be candidates, it can be clients, depending on what you're looking for. But there's data all over the web, and what we want to do is bring that data into our system. Now, what our system typically is, our data is either in the old way of doing things, it's an ATS, it may be our LinkedIn network, it may be our database. And what we do is we look at our data, and our system is we analyze our data, we do a keyword search, and then what we do is we do one of two things typically. One, we take the backdoor route. Hopefully we get lucky. We send an email. So we got the online approach. So we send an email, or we send a LinkedIn message, and we hope and we pray that we're going to get a positive response. And invariably, guess what? We don't get a positive response. Or the second approach is we do the good old telephone. We pick up the telephone, and we then start dialing through our A players, our B players, in the vain hope that we're going to get a bite. And that's what we do. That's how we use our data. We use our ATS, our LinkedIn network, our databases, etc. Do a search. Then we use the online approach, or we use the good old telephone approach. And that's typically it. So what are we doing? We're always outbound. We're always chasing. Now what we've got here in terms of a problem is we're also looking at most of these candidates who are in the place of they're easier to place for us. These candidates reside in this part. Depending on what stat you want, but about 80%, you might want to call it passive, you might want to call it employed, whatever you want to use. But anyway, these are the ones that we really want. These are the skilled ones typically. Then also we've got our active candidates. These are the ones who may be approaching us. These are the ones who are actively looking for work. But what we want to tap into these guys, the 80%. The problem is they're not looking. So when we send in mails on LinkedIn, when we send emails, they're not getting back to us, very rarely. So we need a mechanism whereby we bring this 80% to us. And to do that, they need to know you, they need to like you, they need to trust you. And believe me, by picking up the phone, by sending one job email with literally just a job content in there once a week, that is not going to build the know, like, and trust. You need to become a trusted advisor. Now I get candidates telling me that they feel like a piece of meat. I have internal recruiters telling me they cannot believe agency recruiters doing the same things they did 10 years ago. Times have changed now. What you need to do is create a system. Create a systematized process whereby you get in front of the candidates and clients. They know, like, and trust you. Then they raise their hand. Now you can do that online or you can do it offline. But the key thing is you must add value. You must add value. Now, in recruitment, your job essentially is to get the green stuff in and get paid. You do that by the selling part. In recruitment, we haven't been taught how to create a funnel. We haven't been taught how to create a lead generation process. So in a visual fashion, if you can imagine, these are the steps we go through. And that should be a straight line, but please forgive me. So in recruitment, this could be the final step. Let's say step 7. We close. Step 1. We may get notified about the vacancy, whichever format that takes. So let's just say you've been notified about the vacancy, but along this route, there are multiple milestones. And invariably what's happened in the past, the recruiter has been responsible for all of these. And it becomes tough because you've got to buy into the candidate has to buy into you, and you've also got the client. So you've got this 3-step problem, and you're the one pulling it all together. And then you've got to bring all the pieces together to go from being notified about the vacancy to actually getting the deal closed. And it is a killer. So what you need nowadays are automated processes. So what you need to be able to do is to communicate with your database, with your clients, with your candidates on a regular basis. And nowadays there's no reason why you can't do this in an automated fashion. So the first thing you need to do is look at the assets in your business. Number one, what assets have you got in your business? So do you have an automated email system? So every day or every couple of days there is a message going out the door to your clients, to your candidates, so you'll stay in front of mind. Do you have an automated email system? Yes or no? Number two, do you have content that's going out to your candidates and clients that positions you as a leader? And I don't mean a newsletter. I mean that positions you as being someone who is problem solution. So every time you communicate with your database, what you should do is you should be focusing on they've got a problem, you provide the solution. You shouldn't be talking about recruitment. Now when you do this approach, where you've got consistency in your communication, so an automated process, when you're giving content as problem solution, what happens is you can communicate, give them content, then you engage with them, so you may get them to fill out a survey, and then you can sell. So 25% content, 25% content again, 25% all the way, 25% engagement, then 25% selling. But when you do this, your results will skyrocket. But what virtually every recruiter does is sell, and the open rates on their emails go down. So if I asked you, if you sent out 10,000 emails, how many were opened? Hopefully you know the answer to that, but you can get your emails opened, you can get them clicked on, you can get responses. But if you haven't got an automated email system in place, contact us. If you haven't got content that positions you in place as a problem solver, contact us. If you don't understand the concept of content engagement solution, sales, then you need to be taking this on board. So please, if you do nothing else, you can go away, you can find autoresponders, you've got Aweber, you've got MailChimp, and so forth. There's loads out there. Now I recommend, depending on the size of your database and how intuitive you want to be, I recommend something simple like GetResponse, or you can use the Infusionsoft or Ontraport to get more complex. But that's a whole training in itself. But what I want you to think about though is just the concept of you need an automated email system. You need your content that positions you as a leader. So you need problem solution. Now you don't have to write the content. We can show you how to get articles written by PhD authors for as little as $10. But then you need a sequence. You need to actually have a sequence involved when you're communicating. You need to think about your communication as a story. So content engagement, sales. And then what you should think about is, we call it the soap opera sequence. So each email leads into the next email, into the next email, into the next email. So what can happen is, if you consider this, let's say you've got a database of 10,000. Let's say you're currently getting, 10% open rate, so you get 1,000 opened because you've got 10% open rate. Now, if we can show you how to get a 30% open rate, that 10,000 becomes 3,000. So your results in terms of opening have tripled. Now, if you follow that through the sequence in terms of like opening, then click through, CTR, click through rate, and then those actually come in or raising their hands and saying, yeah, I'm looking for a new recruitment company to come in look, and resource this niche we're in, or I'm a candidate, yeah, I'm looking for a new, I'm considering, I'm in employment, but I'm considering my options. Your business has grown threefold just by making these tweaks. And you do this by focusing on having an automated system, a system that offers value, and then you focus on the benefits to that candidate or to that client. So with that said, what I want you to just to think about now is, How can you create an automated lead gen pipeline? Now, there's numerous systems. There's email systems, social media, and there's different strategies you can use. But have a think in your business. Have I got one automated lead gen pipeline? If you haven't, your business is in danger. I don't mean to add any form of scare tactics here. It's that's not the intention. But if your only lead gen tool is LinkedIn, and LinkedIn changed the way they're allowing recruiters to use it, that may change. If you haven't got any automated lead gen, so you come in the morning and you've got leads in your inbox, then you need to be thinking about the way you're doing business, because recruitment's getting tougher. But these are strategies that are fairly simple to implement. It's just that we lag 5, 6, 7, sometimes 8, 9 years behind other industries in how we do things. So, at the top right hand screen. With that said, it's Andy Whitehead from recruitmentmarketinginternational.com. And we'll get there eventually. There we go. Click on contact. Enter your details down here, and what we'll do is we'll come back to you. Just let us know what your query is, or if you've got any requirements, and we'll come back to you. And as always, remember to put 2 plus 2 equals 4, so enter your details in there for the security. So with that said, it's been Andy Whitehead. Really enjoyed speaking to you today, and I've had a real buzz. Just really getting to think about creating an automated lead gen pipeline. If you haven't got one, you need to have one, and there are tens of different options out there. But just think about what could you do in your business in the next 60 days to really start to create these pipelines. Take care. I'll speak to you very soon. That's Andy Whitehead out.